Update 36.0.1 was released today on June 7th, and in this video, as always, we're gonna go through all the new changes. Level 65 and level 70 Bjorning's reworked and Warrior's armor have had their appearances restored. The cosmetic pet buffalo cow has been changed to be named Brown Cow. The brown cow, but also the black bull, have been added to the collections panels for pets. We had an update to one of the Warg cosmetic skins, the non-crystal Warg model, so I guess the black maned was using the wrong appearance and the correct version now stands in its place. So this is how the black maned is supposed to look. You of course have your crowned crystal Warg skin, but you can also now get the black maned Warg skin. The correct skin is now being displayed. We have some news about the new King's Gondor, Eastern King's Gondor zones. You can now finally correctly fish in King's Gondor, so fishing is now possible in King's Gondor in all the zones. We had a correction to the remnants of the Morgul host at the Harland and Taustrock. So all the way in northeast, the Harland and Taustrock is like an orc camp a little bit northwest of the Harland. And apparently they were using the hobgoblins appearances. But taking a look at this Taustrock straggler, it looks like a proper orc, and I'm sure everything up in Taustrock has also been corrected to actually look like proper orcs and not hobgoblins from Gundabad. We also had a change to Agolant, a camp in Lothernok in King's Gondor. All the way southeast, there's a camp where you can do some quests, and these Agolant captains are now less common enemies, so you'll find less of the captains. More sneaks have been added. Sneaks can be kind of hard to find because they're in stealth, unless you have like a hunter to track them down for you. But now we have more sneaks added to this camp, making it easier for everyone to do this quest. And the deserters will respawn slightly faster. When you click on them, they run away, but they will respawn slightly faster. And there's also been added 2 more deserters, so people can complete their quests more easily. Another fix to a quest, the quest of War and Rose Petals. Algor will no longer turn to face you while working, and he'll respawn more quickly after walking away during this quest. The Boar Slayer of Lower Lebanon should now have been fixed, and they will actually bestow an advance, so we're going to try this out now. I'm going to kill a boar in Lower Lebanon, and I should be getting the Boar Slayer deed. And Boar is dead. New deed, Boar Slayer of Lower Lebanon. So the Boar Slayer is properly working in the Lower Lebanon zone. The quest, A Den of Ill Intent, should no longer have multiple instances of Sag-Razg. I believe this quest takes place north of Tumladen. There's like an orc camp and a cave. And when I was doing this quest, Sag-Razg, the orc boss, had like multiple copies. This should be fixed now, and there should only be 1 Sag-Razg for you to complete your quest. The Tamamir dwarves in King's Gondor now use the appropriate appearances, and while questing through King's Gondor, I think the only dwarves I noticed was way north in Furuk-Sahar, where they're like building this big dam or something. And I believe these guys are the ones they're talking about. They had their appearances fixed, so they kind of now look like dwarves, I guess, from the south. Skin is darker, and their cosmetics kind of look like southeastern Middle-earth, I would say. I believe these are the Tamamir dwarves, building this dam, helping restoring the kingdom of Gondor. They had their appearances fixed. Certain guards in the Harland are now considerably less on guard. The rats thank them. I believe there was a problem where Gondorian defenders would engage in battles with the skittering rats when you're trying to do your quests, and if those guards were to engage in combat with the rats, I think they would turn grey and you would not get credit. So these guards should now be less likely to engage in battle with the rats, and you should have an easier time completing your quest. We had a fix to the Ost Anglebed jail. It now has the correct area properties, and it will send you to the correct version of landscape upon exiting. So I never entered this jail while I was questing, but I'm guessing you were sent to the old Gondor, so not King's Gondor, but now you're probably getting sent from the Ost-Anglebed jail. When you exit the jail, you're still in King's Gondor. There was an issue with the 6-person instance delving, so either Anuminas or Great Barrow, where the instance delvings were not drawing from the correct loot pools. This has now been fixed. The Delving Weekly Delve into the Darkness will no longer autocomplete, and you should instead be able to go to the Delving Mission Giver and turn in your quest for completion. Completing any delving now gives a small chance at getting delving morale or power potions. So the potions you can barter for at the delving spotters, the universal delving morale potions that heal 15% of max morale, or the universal delving power potions. Restores 15% of max power. These now have a small chance at dropping from any delving, any tier. The delving box of crafting materials had its 6-hour cooldown timer removed. No longer a cooldown when you get the crafting material delving box. With this update, we also get a 3rd weekly quest for delvings. The Delve Deepest Weekly requires you to complete 2 3-man delvings and 2 6-man delvings during a week. It rewards you with 250 writs, 1000 virtue experience, and also you can choose a bonus crafting materials box, legendary items boost, or a bonus characters boost. So a 3rd weekly now for the delving systems, giving you one more reason to run delvings in 3-mans and 6-mans. We also got additional rewards added to all 3 weekly delving quests, and I'm pretty sure they're talking about for Delve Deeper Weekly, the consumables delving selection box, and for Delve Deepest is probably one of the ones you can choose, and for the Delve into Darkness Weekly, maybe the Embers or the enhancement runes, I'm not completely sure, but new rewards added to all the delvings weeklies. We have a couple of landscape news. Most of these are fixes in King's Gondor where people would get stuck or there would be some physics issues. These have now been corrected. There's been a fix to the stable route from Minas Tirith after battle to the Harland, King's Gondor. You no longer get stuck on rubble. And finally, some radar issues in Lindleby has been fixed. We had a French and German correction. And the final note in these patch notes is a known issue. We have disabled the schematics until the siege mechanic in the Ettenmoors is complete. You can still get the items, but you will not be able to use them until they are updated. So anything related to siege will be disabled until the siege mechanic is fully ready to be introduced to the game worlds. Hey! Hey you! Yeah you! What do you want? You enjoy my content and you want to support me? Fine, I'll show you how you can do it. I would really appreciate if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. You can also support me through my Ko-fi homepage. If you're playing or looking to play Lord of the Rings online, there is one place you need to be. The Ghyniverse is a Discord server created for the community of the players of Lord of the Rings Online. The server is getting close to 7,000 members, and in this server you'll find tons of helpful information. There's monthly giveaways, easy access to patch notes, you can keep up with my YouTube videos, my streams. If you're a streamer, you can ask for the streamer role and you can announce your streams in the other stream channel. There are discussion channels for pretty much everything, every class, monster players. But the best thing about this server is probably the Gearing Resources tab, where you can find anything from trait lines for every class, every build. There are stat goals, where you can find out what stats you should aim for on your characters. Really helpful information about drop rates from instances, as well as screenshot from all the new loot that appears in the game. If you enjoy LOTRO, you should definitely consider joining this server, and hopefully I'll see you in Middle-earth. If you were part of the Ghyniverse already, you might have noticed that another tab appeared at the top, the LFF server. This server is a brand new server that I created, the LFF Ghyniverse. In this server, you can select which servers you want to keep up with, and once you select your server, say you select Arkenstone, you will see the LFF, the kinship advertisement, looking for kinship and trade channels, and there's also voice channels if people want to use those. The LFF channel is basically a looking for fellowship channel where people can post if they need players for the runs, and this way people don't have to be logged into the game to see the chat. They can just instead get a notification on their Discord. There's also a kinship advertisement page where kins can post their kinship advertisement and have people join their kins, and you can also post in the looking for kinship chat if you're looking for a kinship, but make sure to take a look in the kinship advertisement first and look through all the kin to find a suitable kin for you. There's also a trade channel if people want to buy or sell stuff that you can use. Hopefully you'll consider joining this server to bring the community even more together, not just in the game, but also outside of the game.